The entrepreneur mind. Number 8. Business comes first, family second. Good things happen when you get your priorities straight. Scott Caan, actor. I am almost 100% sure that the concept of putting your business before family has caused me to lose some followers on Twitter, or at least it has given some of my followers a negative perception of me. Who in the world admits to putting their business before their family? To the average person, this notion is ludicrous and totally not politically correct. When I first tweeted about how my business comes first and family second, I received the following comments. You lost some friends on that one. I disagree. I always put my family first. I cringed when I saw these and other comments pop up in my Twitter feed. I certainly don't like to invite controversy, but I think people who aren't die-hard entrepreneurs miss my point. I don't blame them necessarily because I can't explain my reasoning within the 140 characters that Twitter allows. Ironically, I don't receive any backlash from seasoned entrepreneurs. Something tells me they understood. Some of the pushback on this comment came from people who work a normal job. The irony of their comments was overwhelming. Some said, I always put family first. I doubt it. If they wanted to take off a year to take care of a sick parent and relied on their income of their job, they couldn't do it. They would get fired. They are beholden to the employer. Why do top performing entrepreneurs put their business first? I'm using an analogy to explain. When informing passengers of emergency procedures on airlines, flight attendants always tell adult passengers traveling with a child put, to put on their oxygen mask first before they put one on a child. It's counterintuitive, but it makes sense when you think about it. Children depend on adult passengers to protect them because they cannot put on their own mask. If you do not follow this procedure, you could lose consciousness before giving a child a chance to live. The simple step saves lives. Similarly, business is a life or death situation. If you don't take care of your business first, everyone could eventually die. As my father often says, quoting a Bible passage, if you don't work, you don't eat. Likewise, I love how financial guru Suze Orman discourages parents from starting a college fund for their children if they don't have adequate savings. She admonishes them, saying, slow down, your children will be better off if your finances are in order first. Now that I've explained putting business first, let's take a step back. I don't follow this rule absolutely. Of course, there are some exceptions. I couldn't miss a close family member's funeral, for example. However, if I am about to close $1 million deal and my son asks me to play catch that evening, my son will have to take a rain check. It's not cruel, it's common sense. Though he may be disappointed in the short term, he'll really appreciate the income later, perhaps in the form of receiving front row seats at the Braves game right next to baseball legend Hank Aaron. one of the biggest advantages of entrepreneurs is independence and flexibility to prioritize. If your business is doing well, you deserve to take more breaks and spend quality time with family. If not, you should be hard at work making sure that you can provide for your family and generations to come. So, as the author kind of alluded to, some of the advice in that reading might be counterintuitive. You know, you might say, well, it should be family first, um, but if it's through being an entrepreneur and owning a business that you are giving yourself and your family the freedom to, well, freedom and flexibility to be able to kind of create your own schedule and do things with your family. But you can't take off from the business, you know, every single hour of every single week. You have to put in the work to be able to say, well, I'm going to go do XYZ with my family. You know, you have to be able to generate the income to allow that flexibility. You know, it might sound harsh saying business before family, but it's through the hard work and also being efficient or smart with your work that allows you that flexibility a 9 to 5 job would be less likely to offer. You know, a 9 to 5 job, you have to go to your boss or manager, and it almost feels like you have to like bow down and ask permission, like, oh, can I please have this time off? You know, it would mean a lot to, you know, go play catch with my kid. And, you know, your manager doesn't um, necessarily know your kid from a hole in the ground. So, you know, if it's important to, you know, your employer that you're at your job, your manager's going to say, you know, you can do that after work. You know, that's why, you know, being the entrepreneur, being your own boss allows more flexibility than having a 9 to 5 job where you're um, limited by your employer and, you know, the management at your job. So hopefully you found some value in this. You know, number 8, um, business first, family second, out of the entrepreneurial mind. Thanks, and have a great day.